Jesus raises the dead by his own power. Prove me wrong. If Jesus isn't God, then why does he claim to have power over life and death? No prophet ever said, "I am the resurrection and the life." But Jesus did. Skeptics, can you explain this? A desperate cry for help had been sent. The message was simple. Lord, the one you love is sick. Mary and Martha, the sisters of Lazarus, had seen Jesus heal the sick, open blind eyes, and cast out demons. They knew he had the power to save their brother. But Jesus did something unexpected. He stayed where he was for 2 more days. The disciples were confused. If Jesus loved Lazarus, why was he delaying? Then Jesus turned to them and said something shocking. Lazarus is dead, and for your sake, I am glad I was not there so that you may believe, but let us go to him. The disciples exchanged nervous glances. This wasn't just about healing a sick man. Something greater was about to happen. Martha's faith and the shocking claim. When Jesus arrived in Bethany, Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Martha rushed to meet him, grief etched on her face. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Jesus looked at her, his voice calm, but filled with power. Your brother will rise again. Martha nodded. I know he will rise in the resurrection at the last day. Then Jesus spoke words that shook the earth. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he dies, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? Martha's heart pounded. He wasn't just talking about a future event. He was saying that he himself was the source of life. Yes, Lord, she said. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into the world. Jesus weeps. Mary came out to meet Jesus, falling at his feet, sobbing. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. The crowd around them was mourning. And then, something incredible happened. Jesus wept. The Son of God, the one who had all power, wept. Why? Because he was not distant from human suffering. He felt their pain. But this wasn't the end of the story. The resurrection power. Jesus wiped his tears and stood before the tomb. Take away the stone, he commanded. Martha hesitated. Lord, by now there will be a stench. He has been dead 4 days. Jesus turned to her and said, Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? The stone was rolled away. Jesus lifted his eyes to heaven and prayed, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me. But I say this so that those standing here may believe that you sent me. Then, with a voice that shattered the silence of death itself, Jesus cried out, Lazarus, come forth! The crowd held their breath. For a moment, nothing. Then, a stir from within the tomb, and out of the darkness, wrapped in grave clothes, Lazarus walked out. Gasps, shouts. People fell to their knees. Lazarus was alive. Not by medicine, not by human effort, by the power of Jesus alone. The challenge to skeptics. Here's the challenge. If Jesus isn't God, explain this. No prophet ever said, I am the resurrection and the life. No mere man ever commanded the dead to rise by his own authority. Yet Jesus didn't say, God will raise the dead. He said, I am the resurrection. The religious leaders knew what this meant. That's why they plotted to kill him. So if Jesus isn't God, prove me wrong. Closing and call to action. Jesus doesn't just give life. He is life. The question is, do you believe it? If you believe Jesus is God, type "Jesus is Lord" in the comments. If you don't, explain this passage. For more powerful Bible truths, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Jesus has power over life and death. What will you do with that truth?